just put a little old back in the new school.
I am out on this very cold day because I wanted to test and review the 13 Fishing FreeFall. So this is the more expensive version. There's two versions of the FreeFall. One's the FreeFall Ghost, and that one's $70, where this one is I think $110 is retail. Ice shows and those types of things, I got 20% off on it, so I would guess that it's going to be about the same. At the St. Paul Ice Show and the Blaine Ice Show, I would guess it's kind of all going around the same through most retailers. So you can see the big thing with this reel is you can pull the trigger and the line starts coming out, and then you can just release the trigger to initiate it. So let's see if I can get it. There's one. Real light bite, and I was holding my reel backwards just to be able to show you the line coming out, but got something on here. Oh, a decent crappie. So I've taken this reel out a handful of times, and I really like it. I really honestly don't have much for complaints. I haven't used it in cold weather. I am curious how it's going to hold up and how it's going to do from freezing in the colder weather. So those are both things that I'd like to make a second video on this winter, or follow up on some comments this winter, because I think it's going to be different than the way it is now. But so far, it's doing me pretty well. I've used the drag quite a bit. I've caught some decent sized crappies. You adjust the drag right here. It's a really simple drag system. One thing that took me a little bit to figure out on this is that the drag does not make noise, so it's not like a standard reel where there's a ticking noise to hear the drag coming out. Because it's a flatline reel, it just comes out real smooth and doesn't make any noise. So you gotta kind of be cautious. I've read online that some people kind of lay their finger on the metal part so they can feel if it's coming out, but I think that kind of defeats the purpose. I realize that as long as I'm not reeling when that fish is really pulling, and I've got my drag and I know it's set pretty right, then I'm not going to worry about it, and I know it's coming out. I've looked over at it a couple times and been able to tell, and it's been doing me a really good job so far in some of those bigger fish. I haven't had any tangling or anything like that with it either. I had a lot of issues in the wind with my last straight line reel, and this one I haven't had any issues like I have on my old clam one. So nothing gets tangled up in the grooves. Everything does a really good job at staying inside the pocket. I haven't had any issues there. I did have one time when somebody was holding my reel and they were inside and they were just taking a look at it, and they pulled the FreeFall button, and then the jig hit the floor after coming down and never released the FreeFall button, so the line just kept spooling out and spooling out and spooling out. So obviously that was kind of a mess. So I would just make sure you be cautious that when you got something going down the hole quick, that you're letting go of it before it hits the bottom. Kind of like a bait caster. Initially when I wanted one of these reels, I was thinking, oh, I'll use it for panfish. I'll put it on my shallow reels or shallow water rods, stuff that I won't be fishing more than, maybe 15 feet. But I can easily use this in 30 plus feet of water, and would be more than happy and confident to be able to strap this on a walleye rod or something similar. So a couple crappies came in. Let's see if we can't catch one of them. Come on. There's one. So I've got this reel attached to the handle of this rod with some of that clam tape. I don't know if anyone else has ever used it, but I'm not a big fan. I worked really hard at just trying to make it right when it went on there. I'm definitely going to be purchasing some of those, like, I don't know, they're kind of like rubber bands. It's a different type of thing to be able to attach this on here, because I can feel a bit of a stretch, and that's really annoying to me. Plus, I really liked how the cork and the black and the green looked, and this blue kind of messed it up. So now, gotta do something different to get that back on there, but for the time being, and to make sure I got this video done, we went with it.